It is the 19th of November, 1863. Abraham Lincoln, 16th President of the United States, stands to address his fellow Americans at a cemetery built on the site of the Great Battle of Gettysburg. Fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that nation might live.
Seek center, tyrannis! Mr. Lincoln! Mr. Lincoln has been shot!
Hello, fellow audience. My name is Edner W, and today, me and my teammates from Group 1 are gonna tell you all about Abraham Lincoln in short amount of time. So, what will we discuss in this video in a question form? Who is Abraham Lincoln? How did he become President of the United States? What achievement that he achieved? What struggles that he surpassed? And others. Please enjoy. The man known to history as Abraham Lincoln was born on the 12th February 1809 in the state of Kentucky in the United States. His father was Thomas Lincoln, a skilled carpenter as well as a farmer, and although illiterate like a most pioneer frontiersman, he was well respected among his community as an honest churchgoer, and was a descendant of the weaver's apprentice who had migrated from him in mid-Norfolk, England to Massachusetts in 1637. His mother, Nancy Hanks, is a somewhat mysterious figure, believed to be originating from a line of modest Virginia farmers. And after bearing three children, Sarah, Abraham, and Thomas, Nancy herself died in the autumn of 1818 when Abraham, her youngest child, was just 9 years old.
Hello everyone, my name is Eunike S and I will explain about Abraham Lincoln's view of life and personality. Okay, so first, I will talk about his ideology or view of life. Abraham Lincoln believed that all people in the world, no matter what their races, skin color, or religion, are equal and deserves to be free from oppression and persecution. That's why he disagreed with slavery and stood for the rights of the black people. Just for info, his view of life is called egalitarianism. As for his personality, he was a very kind person. He cared for the lives of the minority, and in this case, black people. He was a brave person too. He wasn't afraid to stand up against black people's slavery. When his soldiers almost lost in the Civil War between the northern United States and the southern United States, he still moved forward, never gave up, and brings victory to the southern United States, which disagreed with slavery. Don't forget that he was also a strong-willed person. He never gave up, even when he experienced some struggles, like the death of his children, competition with Douglas Aka, the other president candidate, and also conflict with the northern United States, which still agreed to slavery at that time. In the end, he succeeded with the black people from the northern United States slavery, and he also became one of the most beloved president in the United States. Well, that's it for my part of this video. Thank you for watching, and let's move to the next part.
Abraham Lincoln was a statesman and the American attorney who served as the 16th President of the United States from 1861 until his death in 1865. He led the country through the Civil War, arguably its greatest moral, social, national, and international crisis. Although Lincoln had no political ambition as president, his accomplishment as a lawyer and politician made him one of the most beloved figures in American history. Lincoln was known as the hostile sergeant who removed the king from life. The famous Gettysburg Address he gave in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania on the day of the Civil War is widely considered one of the greatest speeches in United States history. Even after his death, his name remains synonymous with those who either killed or gave their life for American freedom. The next achievement of Abraham Lincoln is House Divided Speech. The simplistic yet compelling speech in 1858 marks the beginning of Lincoln's campaign for the U.S. Senate against Stephen A. Douglas. A house divided against itself cannot stand. I believe this government cannot endure permanently, half slave and half free. Lincoln told his audience at the Illinois Republican State Convention, "It will become all one thing or all the other." In other words, slavery will either be legal or illegal throughout the United States. Next, the achievement of Abraham Lincoln is about presidential election of 1860. Lincoln ran against Douglas again 2 years after the Senate race. This time the contest was for the presidency. Lincoln won, defeating Douglas and two other candidates. The crowded field meant that Lincoln was able to win the presidency with little to no support from the South. Several weeks after the election, South Carolina became the first state to secede from the Union. So, those are about Abraham Lincoln's achievement.
Educational background. Abraham Lincoln loved to read as a child. He was very fond of reading poetry, writing, and contemplating at the age of 15 years. He is also very reliable in agriculture. Lincoln had a total year of informal education due to his work on the farm and its remote location. He was unable to attend school regularly, but Lincoln's educational foundation was sufficient for him to be able to teach himself by reading whatever books he could find in his late teens because he took a special interest in poetry and grammar. 2 years later, he ran again for the state legislature.
So, this is all the illustrations of Abraham Lincoln, the House Divided Speech. And then in the middle, there's Abraham Lincoln wins the presidential. And lastly, Abraham Lincoln got assassinated.
Lincoln had at last found a direct business-like commander who he liked and trusted. And with the help of Lincoln's suggestion, Grant developed a strategy of simultaneous massive attacks on the Confederate heartlands. A subbreak from the main, Ewing of previous General West, Grand Army of the Potomac began to advance Kingsley Force on the 4th of May. 3 days later, General William Tecumseh Sherman launched his campaign in the West to capture Atlanta, and so with Grant throwing his army against the Confederates, thus losing 32,000 men in 2 ways.
With Lincoln's approval, the general continued to Presley's army despite shattering losses. Meanwhile, from the 7th to the 8th of June 1864, the Republican Convention met in Baltimore and nominated Lincoln as their presidential nominee. For the November election, the decision, in the absence of a serious competitor, was near unanimous, and the convention also, upon Lincoln's suggestion, declared support for the creation of a constitutional amendment to abolish slavery across the entire nation. Despite this success,
Abraham Lincoln was the sixth President of the United States who served from March 4, 1861 until his assassination. He led his nation out of American Civil War, maintained national unity, and abolished slavery. However, he became the first USA president that he was assassinated when the war was nearing its end. Before his inauguration in 1860 as the first president of Republican Party, Lincoln worked as a loyal member of Illinois legislature and member of the United States House of Representatives, and twice failed in the state election. On the evening of April 14, 1865, he was shot at the Ford Theater while he was enjoying a performance. The culprit was an actor who was a passionate Confederate support named John Wilkes Booth.
lastly, it's all about the reference of this video. The full film, you guys can watch it. It's by the People Profiles, at People Profiles. You guys can search it on YouTube or not, click the link below in the description. So, the biography is explained by myself, Edner W. Life and personality explained by Eunike S. Achievements from Chelsea Patricia. Education is explained by Maria Ecclesia. Associates explained by Kevin Tristan and myself. Struggles and Death explained by Ariel S. We reach at the end of the video. Thank you for listening and watching this video. Hope you guys enjoy.